7:30, we're following breaking news on your Friday morning. A fire on Hardesty Avenue in Kansas City, just north of East 63rd Street. 41 Action News reporter Ray Daniel is at that scene right now. Ray, what more can you tell us about this fire?
And Hardesty, that's where this fire happened. We do know that there have been several officers, and KCFD is here on scene. We're going to speak with the Chief Jimmy Walker in just a few seconds here. If you want to walk over here towards me, we're about to get an interview with him right now and speak with him. He's about to speak in just a few minutes, and we'll be sure to give you the latest. We're here right now. So, Jimmy Walker, if you wouldn't mind telling us exactly what happened.
When our crews arrived here a little after 6, we had a house fully involved. We had one person who escaped the house fire on their own. It was the nephew of the victim that we found later. We had multiple explosions. The explosions were oxygen. The victim was on oxygen. Older gentleman. I think he was in his 60s. That's what we have right now, but confirm that later.
So it's one fatality.
One fatality. Like I said, when our crews arrived, the house was fully involved. We went defensive. We knew one victim was inside, but we couldn't do anything about it. But our crews have now made entry. We've located the body, and we're waiting bomb and arson, and we're going to look for a cause and origin.
All right, Chief Walker, thank you so much for talking with me. Media was actually pushed back here near 55th and Hardesty because of those explosions that were still going on. So that's why we were so far back for such a long time. Again, one person is confirmed dead, and KCFD is still assisting, trying to look at any hotspots. We'll be sure to bring you the latest as soon as it becomes available. Reporting live, Ray Daniel, 41 Action News today.
All right, Ray, thank you for that. We'll continue to follow, and as we learn more, we'll share it with you here on 41 Action News on 38 The Spot. A pretty unique Christmas light display tucked away in Overland Park right now. We want to tell you about a cul-de-sac coming together. They coordinate their lights every year, and 41 Action News reporter Emma James spoke to that neighborhood about how they make all this work.
When the sun goes down, Bradshaw Street comes to life. Candy canes line the sidewalks, and every home in the cul-de-sac plays a part in the production.
It honestly is about making people happy.
Gina Haskett says it started 6 years ago when her husband put out a flashy Halloween display. Christmas came around and he kicked it up a notch. Then he wanted to go even bigger. Eventually, their neighbors wanted to join in on the fun.
It's brought our whole cul-de-sac together.
Haskett's husband programs the displays in every yard with music. And every house syncs up to a radio station for drivers to tune into. The Hasketts and their kids pass out candy canes to people who come through. There's even a drop box for letters to Santa. For 14-year-old Grant Prettyjohn, it's fun to be a part of one of the city's hidden gems.
And we still think it's pretty cool, but we don't realize how cool it is because we see it every day, obviously. But for the people that are coming through just to see it once, they're just astonished. They love it.
Haskett says all her neighbors have adapted to the traffic. From 7 to 10 p.m., they know to expect a busy street. She says her husband puts in a lot of work with the help of a few others.
He spends all year working on the next year. So it's new, it's different.
It all pays off when the drivers start coming through.
It's just seeing their smiles. It's being, that person that can make somebody's day. And it's all about the happiness.
In Overland Park, Emma James, 41 Action News.
Love that. If you want to check out other holiday displays around Kansas City, we've got a list on our site right now to the most popular displays, both in Kansas and Missouri. You can go to kshb.com to check those out.
Temperatures today continue heating up. It is going to be a little more cloudy, though, so that could impact those high temperatures. Most of us, though, upper 40s, potentially near 50. Saturday and Sunday, lots of sunshine. We're in the lower middle 50s for those high temperatures each day. It's going to be fantastic as we enter Christmas weekend. Now, Christmas Eve, 48 degrees will be the evening temperature. A few clouds will build in. The breeze is not too strong out there, but by Christmas Day, not a white one, but could be a wet one out there. 49 degrees with a couple showers moving through parts of the area. We'll let you know what day next week looks to be the better chance of some soggy conditions. That's coming up.
Lindsay, thank you. Right now we're taking a live look at I-435 at Kansas Avenue. There's a little bit of activity on the left shoulder there that just got cleared. Traffic getting by just okay this morning. No problems there. Looking wide at our maps, we do have a couple of stalled vehicles that we're watching this morning, but nothing too bad. Commute actually looks pretty good this morning. The FDA will be judging the health benefits in a two-part test when it comes to vaping. Are the products effective in helping people quit? That's the first part. Second, does that benefit outweigh the health damage to new e-cig users who weren't smokers in the first place? E-cigarette makers will have to submit applications by May. If they fail to meet the new standards, the FDA can order its product off the shelf. City Council for Kansas City passed the controversial plan for KC Mode to give millions in incentives to Waddell and Reed. The company's going to move 9 miles across the state line and will get more than $100 million in financial assistance to do so. Before the council voted on it today, they pared back incentives for the project, voted on it Thursday. This after Kansas City Public Schools expressed concern about the amount of money it would lose. The district is on board with the incentives passed on Thursday afternoon. The council also approved a special sales tax to improve a shopping center in the Waldo neighborhood. You'll notice an extra 1% sales tax on all retail sales at the Romanelli Shopping Center at West Gregory Boulevard and Warnell Road. That's set to generate about $2.5 million in 5 years, and that money will be used to repair that center. A Martin City church hoped to bring children to services this Christmas season, but this week someone stole the van they were going to use to do that. The House of Glory Church recently bought a van similar to this one, hoping to bring people to church from all over town. Staff at the church started to go over surveillance footage and found a similar crime happened last year to another organization down the street. A trailer with thousands of dollars of equipment inside belonging to Head for the Cure, raising money for cancer research, was stolen from that lot a half-mile away.
This was a great loss to our church. I called the insurance and they told me there was nothing they could do about it.
The church staff plans to pick up children still and just use their own cars. Police ask anyone with information to call Crime Stoppers at 816-474-TIPS. The Clay County Sheriff's Office claims a decrease in next year's budget puts the sheriff in a difficult position to make public safety decisions. The county passed that budget on Thursday after weeks after an appeals court ordered the county to add nearly $1 million to this year's budget. One commissioner told us he agrees with the sheriff's office and calls it a bad situation. 41 Action News emailed the county for a response but have not heard back just yet. The family of 2 Wisconsin brothers whose remains were discovered at a farm in northwest Missouri are suing the suspect and his mother, who owns the cattle company that he worked for. 41 Action News obtained a copy of that lawsuit filed by the mother of Nicholas and Justin Diemel, along with Nicholas's widow. Both claim the suspect, Garland Nelson, committed insurance fraud, trying to sell cattle that did not belong to him. The suit also alleges that his mother hired him and knew he violated the terms of his parole by possessing a gun. It also says the company failed to supervise him despite his criminal past. More details of the lawsuit are available right now on our website, kshb.com. New food hall opening today in downtown Overland Park. We got a sneak peek inside. Really nice. Strang Hall held their soft opening on Thursday. The new food hall features 6 different restaurants with local chefs ranging from Asian and Latin cuisine to craft pizza, vegan food. Those running the new hall just can't wait for the grand opening today.
It's really exciting because we've all been working really hard on this, and to see it come to fruition is really exciting. And we're really excited to start, connecting with the community and making this a place that people all over the metro want to come and hang out.
So Strang Hall's at 80th and Marty across from the Farmers Market in downtown OP opens for lunch today at 11 a.m. By the way, our Chew Diligence podcast team recently got a chance to talk with one of the chefs opening up in Strang Hall this week. Chef Anoram Thompson plans to feature Asian comfort food that's kind of an infusion of Laotian and Thai cuisines. He came to the U.S. with his family as a refugee when he was 6, and now he wants to share his culture with others. Pretty incredible story, and they tell me incredible food. You can hear more about his story by looking up our Chew Diligence podcast wherever you find your favorite podcast. And if you're not listening to that already, definitely do so if you're a big foodie here in Kansas City. Well, it's a case of musical chairs in Kansas City's Brookside neighborhood. Brookside Bakery plans to move into the spot where Plate restaurant used to be. A fire forced Plate to move from that location 2 years ago. The owners of Brookside plan to completely renovate the space on Oak Street, Brookside Barkery. They plan to open in the spring whenever they're done with that renovation. Today and tomorrow, expect to see extra firefighters in Lee Summit. They're taking part in the Boot Block. Firefighters will be at 3rd and Douglas with booths to collect money that will go towards Lee Summit Social Services. Firefighters do this every year. Last year, they got $30,000 in donations. Organizers say they'll do this no matter the weather, and thankfully the weather doesn't look like it's going to be an issue for the next few days. Well, the furriest of Broadway musicals has found its way to the big screen. Cats, now out in theaters. We'll tell you what our Screened on the Spot team thought of it coming up. You're watching 41 Action News today on 38 The Spot. Gosh, what a stunning sunrise this morning right there behind the Sky Stations.
Welcome back, everyone. 7:42, and we are waking up with some cloudy skies overhead this morning. Temperatures, though, remaining pretty nice, I think, for December. Overall, temperatures are hovering in the 30s, 34 degrees Kansas City, 31 Lawrence, 35 Lee Summit, and 34 degrees in Olathe. Now, breezes are coming out of the south, 10, 15 miles per hour, and that has dropped those wind chills that what it feels like without your winter coat. So you still need to dress warmly. It's December after all, but luckily by the afternoon things will start to change. We're talking about some nice numbers in the 40s and 50s across the region here in the Midwest. If you are traveling today locally or regionally, things are going to be very quiet. It's a perfect day to travel. Heading out to the Northeast, there's no precipitation to worry about. It's just really cold towards New England and the northeastern coast. The Southeast, we may have to deal with some rainfall, especially towards Houston, Dallas, and maybe into the deep South, where we're waiting for our next storm system to come in across the Pacific Northwest. So Seattle will deal with rain and Portland dealing with rain and wind. Taylor.
All right, Lindsay, thank you. Do you love Star Wars? I do, but not as much as this guy. Coming up, we'll show you Kansas City's biggest super fan, or stan, maybe, of Star Wars. You're watching 41 Action News today on 38 The Spot. 33 degrees at 7:43.
We're Screened on the Spot, a movie podcast right here on 41 Action News.
If you're thinking about heading to the movies this weekend, here's what's playing at the box office.
Long have I waited.
You've probably heard by now, The Rise of Skywalker is in theaters. More than 40 years in the making, it's the final installment in the Skywalker saga. Rey, Finn, and Poe are back fighting Kylo Ren in the First Order.
Taking one last look, sir.
But the new characters are joined by the original Star Wars heroes, such as Leia, Chewie, C-3PO, Lando, and more. Expect surprises and an emotional ending. It's rated PG-13.
Tonight is a magical night.
The smash Broadway musical comes to life on the big screen with a number of big stars. Judi Dench, Idris Elba, Jennifer Hudson, and Taylor Swift star as, well, cats.
Right, well, that's not going to work, is it? That's what I say to you.
This movie has music, dancing, beautiful sets, and the most interesting reviews out there right now. It's rated PG.
I love it.
Wait, am I going to be the story? No. I'm going to be the story.
No. A revealing look inside one of the biggest media empires of all time. Bombshell is the story of the women who brought down the creator of Fox News.
What is she doing? This could kill Fox News.
Nicole Kidman and Charlize Theron play two of the real-life Fox anchors who exposed Roger Ailes for sexual harassment.
I have a whole list. Will other women come forward?
For Screened on the Spot, I'm Sarah Unruh.
So for the latest movie reviews and entertainment news, you can subscribe to Screened on the Spot. Head to our website, kshb.com/podcast. You'll find an all-new episode, Goodbye 2010s. Screened on the Spot is also available across all major streaming platforms. A lot of fun. They do great work.